Right, let's go jump on the plane.
Right, today I want to share with you how I managed to secure a first-class return ticket from Mexico to London Heathrow for just £642, how I've done it and how I can keep doing it in the future. Stay tuned.
Enjoy a beer. Okay, just checked in and grabbed myself a beer, very happy. So let's talk about how I actually got this. So let's jump on the computer now and I'm going to show you the ticket and then I'm going to go through how I actually got it. So first things first, jump on the computer and show you the ticket. Okay, so here we are into my emails. You can see today taking off at 9 p.m, Mexico City to London. Scroll down and you can see right here, flying out 1st December, coming back February, and just straight Mexico City to Heathrow. And the one thing I should just highlight for you is the fact that we are flying first class. First class both ways. And I want to share with you actually how much I paid for this. And you can see here, it's got my name, fantastic. And obviously booked it in FastTrackFBA, put it in the company name, and then price paid, £642.17. Now that is very cheap for a first class transatlantic return ticket. Now the one thing you probably notice is I spent 170,000 Avios points. Now you might be thinking, wow, that is a lot of Avios points. And yeah, it is. But interesting enough, in my business, it's actually not, and I'm about to show you why. So let's first of all go through to two cards that I use to generate Avios points, and then also show you how many we make pretty much at a time. So there are two cards that I use. Number one is Amex, and then number two is Capital on Tap. And I'll drop a link down below to both of these so you can sign up as well. Let's just jump over to actually my accounts and we'll see what they've got. So first things first, you can see Amex here. We have got reward points, 370,000. And you can pretty much convert them one-to-one into Avios points if you want to. Now that is my Amex card and we use that for probably like 30% of our purchasing. Now the other one we use is Capital on Tap. If I log in, you'll see we've got 256,000 points. And again, they're one-to-one. And you might think, wow, that is 500,000 Avios points. That's quite a lot. And it is, you're right, it is a lot of points. But let's show you how we make them, or should we say how many we generate in a typical month. Right here, this is my Capital on Tap statement. And you can see here, spend activity, £155,000. Now that is incredible. That is a lot of money. So let's have a quick look how many points I generated just in that 1 month from the 6th of the 10th to the 5th of the 11th. Let's scroll down and we can go to the statement itself. And the thing that you can see here, it's got all the information, spend activity 155,084. Obviously a lot of cash. And that's through my business, by the way, not actually me personally. And I'll tell you how we do that in a bit. But right now, you can see just in this billing period, 1 month, we made 154,000 Avios points. And my debit balance before that, and if I scroll in, you can see it right here, 456,753 Avios points. That is fantastic. Now that is just generated in 1 month, so pretty much this flight has been paid for 1 month of business. So I could fly transatlantic back to London every month first class. Now that is something that I really enjoy. Now if you want to learn how I do it, stay tuned, I'll share that in a minute.
Okay, so you might be questioning, Tom, you spent 170,000 Avios points. That is how you managed to get the first class return. And you know what? You're right. That is a lot of Avios points. Now, the thing I want to share with you is if you know anything about me, I run, should we say, a couple of businesses. And one of them, we do a lot of spending online, whereby we're buying a lot of products from retail stores. Now, what you probably understand is whenever you're buying stuff online, you get to use credit cards. And when you're using credit cards, they give you rewards. Just the very action, the very nature of my business, which gives me those rewards. As we saw in the previous example, which I showed you the Capital on Tap, in just 1 month we managed to spend enough money from one credit card to generate that first class return ticket with the Avios points. Now you might be asking, what is this business model? Well, quite simply, it's something called Amazon Arbitrage. That is where basically we are buying products from a retailer cheap to resell them for a profit on Amazon, and obviously making profit as well. Now we do make money from this Amazon business. That itself is very self-supporting. It makes good money and I'm really happy with it. But one of the offshoots of that business model that we've done, and I've done now for 4 years, is quite simply, it is getting the Avios points, so those Amex points, which can really make a difference to your quality of life. Now, let me run through you an example of a product that I've purchased previously and obviously resold, how we've done it so you can get an idea. And what we're doing is just this process at scale. So let's talk through it now. Okay, so this is a product, and I'll do a screen share now or overlay for you, where we purchased previously a Charlotte Tilbury face moisturizer. Now this is something like 50 ml, and you can probably see here on the screen, it's about £75 for the product. Now what we did is we bought quite a few of these, 37 to be in fact, so we could buy them low to resell them for a profit, and I'll show you how much profit in a second. And then obviously this helps our business grow. So we bought 37 of them. Now they're listed for £75 on the website to buy, but we used a discount code and we managed to bring it down, not from £1,504, but actually the discount code gave us a £474 discount. We could buy them for a total of £1,030. Now £1,030 over the course of all 37 which we bought, well, that means we paid pretty much about £52.10. And why is that? Well, we add on an additional 60p for prep for the warehouse to physically receive it, package it and ship it off to Amazon, handle logistics. So you can see that we actually bought the product for a total of 37 of them for £1,030, and we got a bit of prep fee on there as well. But let's talk about the sale price. So we pretty much sold them for an average sale price of £87.45, and multiply that by the 37, that means we sold the whole lot for £3,235.65. Now what happens is Amazon takes a fee for the privilege of selling and also shipping to the customer. What happened then? Well, Amazon dispersed or gave us money back of £2,464.34. That's after taking their fee. Now what happens? Well, we got £2,464 back from Amazon, and our cost of goods for those products themselves, £1,927.70. What did that leave us with? Well, a net profit of £536.64. Yes. So we made money from selling the products. Now that is a model that we do. We are buying products low to resell high on Amazon for a profit, but we're just doing it at scale. What scale? Well, £170,000 in the course of a month. You could see from the Capital on Tap credit card, at least that much. Okay, so you might be asking the question, well, Tom, that's all very well and good buying that product, but how does that relate to Avios points? Well, let me explain it for you. Quite simply, the model we do is buy low, sell high. So what does that mean? Well, we buy something, let's call it for £10, and we resell it for £20. Well, the one thing I want you to understand there is that buy price is generally half of the sale price. So what does that mean? Well, it means for our first class ticket, after I showed you, I spent 170,000 Avios points. So if we work out, I'm going to need 170,000 Avios points. Well, first things first, we need to figure out how much do I need to spend to generate an Avios points. Well, quite simply, with Capital on Tap, which is one of the cards that I'm using and I demonstrated, it's 1%. So for me to get 170,000 Avios points, I'm going to need to spend pretty much £170,000 because it's 1 point per pound spent. So if we understand that, 170,000 Avios points, we get the calculator out. Now, how much do we need to make in revenue? Well, that's going to be about, I think it's £340,000. Now, once we understand that the revenue we need to generate is £340, the next question you might be asking is, wow, Tom, that is a lot of money. And hey, I really understand what you're saying. But what we need to understand is actually all you need to do is to take £17,000 and do it 10 times in spend, and that's 170,000 in spend that you've done over the course of a year if you do it 10 times. Now, every time you flip it, you spend 17,000, sell it, get the money back, you're not only getting your 17,000 back, you're also getting the profit. So as you go through the process, it grows as well. So if we understand the fact that actually you don't need 170,000 in cash right now, you just need to do that enough times over the course of a year to generate the points, now it becomes a lot easier. Now, the question you might be asking is, let's go back to 170,000 spend, which is 340,000 in revenue. How hard is that to achieve? Well, quite simply, I had a quick look down my own Facebook group. I've got FastTrackFBA Facebook users. They are Amazon sellers and they're sharing some of their figures. I'll overlay them here. And we've got two sellers who pretty much overlaid some figures. We've got one right here, Fraser, and he posted in the year to date, he's done 516,000 in sales. Now that is really good. And he talked about it, he's on year 2. Remember, we need 340 to generate those Avios points. Now have a look again, and you can see here, Heather McDonald, she posted that previously, just last month, she did 50,000. Extrapolate that over a year, that's again another 500,000. Now, interesting enough, these figures might sound scary, but people are doing them, not just myself, but they do happen. And the spend associated with that, using the right card, that is going to have a difference. Now look, the one thing which I'll say is when I was younger, when I first started in this Amazon business, or even just flying in general, I always looked at the people in first class and I knew it was probably about a £10,000 flight. And I said to myself, I will never do that. It's just a waste of money. And you know what? Now, I'd probably say it's still a really expensive thing, but knowing that you can do it with points, knowing you can do it with, should we say, cashback schemes, this just changes the game completely. My God, that flight that I went on first class was actually cheaper than the economy ticket, should we say, in the cash value only. Now, quite simply for me, I look at this and say this is opening up a whole new opportunity in the fact that I run a business, I have a team running it, we generate over 2 million in sales over the last 7 or the last 12 months. And what does that mean? Well, it means we're doing $1 million in spend. I need to spend 170,000 for a first class flight. We're actually doing more. So that means I pretty much fly, call it maybe every month if we're going to continue on that growth trajectory. Now, what you might be thinking is this is unheard of. For you, it's unrealistic. Well, what I'm going to share with you, or what I'm going to ask you to think about in the takeaway for this is not about some video that you can watch today and tomorrow you're on a first class flight, not at all. This is a business you start today that maybe this year you do okay with, and then next year and the year after, now you're flying first class everywhere. I don't know any job in the world that you could ever get where in 3 years' time you're going to be flying first class. But I've seen it and I've demonstrated it. Myself and other sellers are doing enough revenue to be able to do this. Now, this is super interesting, and I think this is opening up a whole new world of just living a much better life, having a great business that supports you. Now, if you want to know, and I've talked about it through the businesses or the cards that we use, the first one we use is Capitals on Tap. This is it, really simple. They're in the US and the UK, really like them. They give you increasing credit facilities and again, the Avios points, and then also as well Amex. And for us, we've previously been using the Gold, but we've recently moved to the Platinum just for the extra cards. But if you want to see them and even get some free bonuses, because I've got affiliate links where you and I both win, have a look at the links down below. I'll share them as well. But if you are also interested in learning about this model, I do have a free 7-day course called the FastTrackFBA Express course. I'll drop a link down below, but trust me, I think this is game changing, and this is opening up a whole new world or another side of this business, which means not only do you have a business which is generating income, but also as well, we can reap some amazing rewards through cashback and points collecting from these cards. Now, what I will say is hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up, and hey, if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. But what I will do is I'll leave a link around here to a playlist that I created called Getting Started on Amazon. I think it's going to be really helpful if anyone is interested in that. Check that out. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.